Well, I don't have much new for you guys. I can't confirm anything because no one's back from their MRIs yet. So it's the same thing from last night with just Devo with his ankle, Brock with his oblique, Kevin Givens knee, Kerry Hyder ankle, Ambry Thomas ankle. Womack's in the concussion protocol, so we won't have him Thursday. And then Dante's also getting his Johnson's getting his knee checked out. We should get him back here hopefully by noon. But we're still waiting on each one. So go ahead.
Have you seen any of the guys this morning and just get a anecdotal read on how they might be feeling?
No, I think they're all over at the hospital, wherever they go, Stanford, I think, to get their deal. So I'll see them when they get in, but that won't be for a couple hours.
Al, did you get an indication yesterday from Brock that the oblique or the side strain wasn't too hard to play through?
I think it was a challenge for him. Just talking to him and seeing him after the game. So I think he really toughed it out, did some real good things with it, and I know he's sore today. So hopefully the MRI will be good and give him a chance to play Thursday.
What is the plan for this week, just in terms of getting guys rested and their bodies back on the short week?
I feel our biggest. Am I hearing myself talk?
Guys, can you please mute your line? That's an echo.
No. Now I'm gonna hear myself say all the time.
Guys, can you please mute your line? There's an echo.
All right. Okay, I'll just have to deal with it. Our Thursday night games, always the biggest thing for us is sleep. We won't do anything full speed. It'll be all about recovery. So we'll let the guys, we don't see them today. The injured guys will come in and do rehab. Tomorrow we'll let them sleep in. We'll start a little later. I think we start at 10:30. So we do some things in the stadium where we have some lights just walking through. Then we'll start a little bit later Wednesday, but we also got to travel that day. And so cut a couple of things out in meeting times, a lot of things with reps. And it's just about resting them up, get them the game plan, and we'll go full speed on Thursday.
Do you guys, as the coaching staff, jump into game planning like last night? What kind of hours are you putting in after a game like that?
No, I personally don't. A number of coaches come over and they do some things on Saturday and they do it Sunday morning. Most of the guys, we put that game to bed and correct all that. We correct all this game from last night, so when we come in today, we can get going on Seattle right away.
Kyle, you were in the locker room with Brock after the game, having a chat with him. What were you discussing and sharing with him?
I'm just talking about how the game went, how the week went, how he was feeling, how the next few days were going to go, and about getting ready for the Thursday game.
Kyle, do you know how Purdy's injury happened, and how ready would Josh Johnson be if he had to start on Thursday?
I believe it happened on the second drive on the third down that he dove for the chains. I think we ended up having a holding call on it and had to run it again. I think running a screen the next play. I believe that's where he felt it. Then it just got worse on him throughout the game. And what was the second question?
How ready is Josh Johnson if he has to start Thursday night?
That's one of the reasons we brought him here, just because Josh is really good at picking things up. Just putting him in the game for that whole quarter where he had to handle all the jet sweep timing of motions and things like that. Those weren't very normal formations and runs. So he can go in, has real good command of the offense. It's Thursday, so no one's getting full speed reps. So that's always a challenge when you get in there. But that was a situation for the quarterback last week too.
It would have been easy for Brock to be rattled after that first play where he got rocked, and then even for him to be a little gun shy after that interception was called back. But it seemed like it was the opposite. It seemed like he was more aggressive after that. When you see that's his demeanor, does it make it easier as a play caller for you? And I guess along the same lines, it seems like the players are head over heels about him too. So how simple as believing in your quarterback does it make, is it better for the locker room?
I think that affects everything, and it's hard to fake that stuff. And Brock is always himself, and how he carries himself, how he talks. He's the same dude every day, and he's the same guy on the field, whether he's making a good play or bad play. He believes in himself, and he's going to keep slinging it and doing ripping what he sees. And I think our guys feel that. And when you're like that, it gives a lot of people confidence because, it's a matter of time.
After some hiccups early in the season, it seems like your special teams has really kind of come together over the last 4 to 6 weeks. What have you seen from that group just in that time period?
I totally agree with you. I think just the style of what we want. I think getting some guys back healthy, some guys really taking over in some of their roles and establishing themselves. Some of the younger guys who were slow to start at the beginning, not playing a ton of special teams in college and not understanding the urgency and how hard you got to work at it to get good at this level. And I think those guys just doing it over and over and being consistent, they've gotten better as the years gotten. And when you do get better and you can get healthier instead of losing some guys, I think that's usually what happens.
Kyle, Brock talked about that he missed that first play of the game. Can you kind of take us through on what he saw or what he failed to do or did incorrectly on that very first play?
Yeah, it was just we had a man zone read on it, and it was not man to man, and he changed it to the man play, and just a little excited at the beginning, and 22 was up. Keanu, just a different number that we were thinking 31 was going to be there for a little bit, and he just saw 22 travel and got it mixed up with a couple other coverages, and checked to the man play, which doesn't have a blocker for 22 if he comes, and so he regretted that pretty quick, but he came back from it fast. Sometimes those plays wake you up very fast.
And then some of the guys talked about the play to Ayuk, the touchdown, that wasn't even in the game plan. Is that accurate, that you didn't have that play in your game plan? And what guys, what did to dial that one up when you did?
The play was in the game plan, but the double move wasn't. But just we were watching some stuff Saturday, and I remember I brought it up to Brock on Saturday night just because we haven't given the rep of the double move, but we had given the rep of the play. The play was a curl, but we hadn't done the curl and go yet. But just situationally and thinking of some things, I told Brock it might come tomorrow, which was Saturday night, and asked him if he was comfortable with it, and he was. And it's not, receivers are always okay with double moves, so it just felt like the right time, the right situation, and it was a hell of a route by Ayuk. The guy was way off, and he had to really get his depth to sell it. It was an awesome job by Brock, pumping him, and especially with the guy in his face and taking that hit. And it was a huge play for us at the end of the half.
Kyle,
in recovering quickly from that hit. Go ahead.
We spoke
in recovering quickly from that hit. And
all right, go ahead.
All right, Tracy first.
Thank you, Kyle. In recovering quickly from that hit and from the negated interception, it not phasing him, is that unusual for someone at this point in Brock's career? Is that something that you noticed from him in college, that he seemed pretty unstoppable?
I think, it's hard to just train that stuff. It's not like guys go in the league and make some mistakes and start to realize that that you can't come back from. It's hard for guys to make mistakes and just to get better from realizing how stressful that is and how much it can hurt a team. So that stuff doesn't totally change. Guys sometimes just have it or not, and there's different levels of that. And it seemed like Brock was like that throughout college. You hear people talk about him, his coach, his teammates from college, and I think they all speak that way. When we've had him here, and it's been a very short amount, that's what we've seen, just coaches and players. So I think you have to have that to be successful in this league as a quarterback. But what he has shown throughout his life so far, it seems like he has that more than others.
Kyle, we spoke with Christian McCaffrey last night on the postgame show, and he was so complimentary of the O-line and the blocking schemes all over. Was last night's the best O-line performance of the season overall, you would think?
I think it was up there, definitely. I mean, they created some real good lanes, especially versus a real good run defense. We knew they were a challenge going into that game, so we exceeded expectations and what we thought actually, and the way they cleaned up some of those holes, the way they handled some of those pressures. I don't know if it was their best game, but it was right up there with it.
Kyle, how would you assess the level of play for Dre Greenlaw right now? Is this number of tackles he was getting? A couple of series, it seemed like almost every play.
I mean, he's had some good ones. I thought that might have been his best game. The way he finished the Miami game was huge. He got off to a little bit slow start, but in Miami, but he finished it strong, and he picked up this game right where he left off. I mean, all the time, all the ways they had to throw the ball there at the end. We were soft in our coverage because we were trying to make sure we didn't give up the big play, and for him to come up and make those tackles so consistently with very few yards after the catch, I think it was as impressive a game as he's had, and I thought that pick was pretty unbelievable.
I'm sure you're evaluating it based on how he feels, but given the defensive line issues right now, health-wise, where's Javon Kinlaw, and is there a possibility for him to be back soon?
Yeah, our goal was after the Seattle game, so to hopefully get him back in practice. So that was our goal with it. We'll finish this game up, and we'll see how it is when we come out on Monday, whether we start opening up his window or not.
Kyle, after the Debo injury, we saw you walking up to the cart and then both walking up to and back to the sidelines were very energetically speaking with one of the reps. What were you discussing, and did it have anything to do with the way Debo was tackled? It looked like he was grabbed by the waist, and then the defensive lineman just jumped and landed on his legs. Any comment on that sort of tackle?
No, I was upset because I called a timeout before the play. So I was upset that the play got ran. But I wasn't close enough to the ref, so he heard me yell it, but he wasn't. He couldn't confirm that it was me. And so I get his position. I got to talk to him about it, but I was just upset with it because I tried to stop the play. Thought I did enough to do it, and then obviously what happened on the play made it extremely a lot more sensitive about it. But I was too far away from him, and he couldn't confirm that it was me, and it was the last second thing. So I'm not holding a grudge to it or anything, but it was just unfortunate.
Were you aware that Greenlaw presented Tom Brady with it? Kyle, were you aware Greenlaw presented Tom Brady? Were you aware Greenlaw presented Tom Brady with a Sharpie and asked him to autograph the ball he intercepted?
I saw it when I got home. I saw it on the highlights. And that was pretty funny. It was real cool of Tom to do that for him. I think a lot of guys could mean that in kind of not the coolest way, but I know Dre too well, and he was a giddy fan at that time. He watched Tom all week and really got to see why Tom is as good as everyone says he is, and that was ultimate respect, and I know he was really real excited to get that ball from him.
Anything else, guys? I appreciate it. See you tomorrow.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.